What's up, everybody? It's Jredd, and today I'm going to be giving you a part 2 to my What If fanfiction Dragon Ball Shift. Now, just a little bit of a heads up, this part is definitely going to be more dialogue heavy, so those of you expecting action will just have to settle for character development instead. Now, with that out of the way, let's get on with it, shall we? Previously, on Dragon Ball Shift, Kami attempted to convince Goku to become Guardian of Earth after defeating Piccolo at the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. Goku declined Kami's offer, but after seeing the look of disappointment on his master's face, he suggested that maybe one of his friends could be trained for the job, or at the very least he could train more capable fighters, ready to defend Earth in case Piccolo ever decided to enact his revenge in the future. Kami accepted this, opting to open the way for them to use his room to train, but hang back and observe them first before he enacted much of a training regimen of sorts. Meanwhile, back at Goku's place, Chichi is pregnant and rather moody. Goku, being oblivious to this, expressed excitement over training their future child, but Chichi would have none of it. However, Goku isn't ready to give up on the idea just yet, so he seeks the advice of some trusted friends, hopes that they may have a way to convince Chichi to see things his way. But who does Goku seek out for help, and what plans could they possibly concoct that would even yield the slightest chance that Chichi would acquiesce? Find out today in part 2 of Dragon Ball Shift. We resume our story with Goku on his trusty Nimbus, flying in the direction of a certain island with a very familiar pink house. "There it is!" exclaimed Goku. As he touched down on the soft sand, a rush of nostalgia flowed through him. How many times had he come here seeking to better himself and overcome obstacles? And Roshi, for his part, in his own unique way, had always somehow helped him find the answers he sought every time. Granted, to say that Roshi wasn't the most reliable when it came to knowing how to deal with women would be the understatement of the century. However, what he lacked in etiquette when dealing with the fairer sex, he more than made up for with his years upon years of life experience, resulting in a sometimes quirky but surprisingly wise perspective. And Goku could sure use some of that fatherly wisdom now. He just hoped that it would be enough. Taking a deep breath, he steeled himself. "Oh, here goes," he thought to himself. Peeking his head in the door frame, he knocked lightly, but then immediately put formalities aside once he saw the old man enjoying his, shall we say, unique brand of TV programming. Casually, he walked in and simply said, "Hiya, old-timer. Still training hard, I see." Roshi would have spat out his drink had he not noticed the key of his star pupil approaching. That in itself was slightly worrying to the old master. Goku had more than enough skill to mask himself when he was focused, to the point that he usually did so to a degree even naturally. But his ki was fluctuating a bit, almost as if he were nervous? Excited? You couldn't tell. But Goku was hardly a man who just visited old friends for the sake of it. So, Roshi thought it best to turn off the TV and give Goku his undivided attention. "Why, Goku, what a nice surprise," Roshi said with a warm smile. "Can't imagine what'd bring you by, but you're always welcome in my home. Could I get you a drink? A snack, perhaps? Just try to go easy on the fridge, okay, champ?" Goku chuckled softly and simply said, "Thanks, but no. Actually, I've got something on my mind and I was wondering if you could help me out." Roshi replied with, "You? Not hungry? This is serious. Well, I'll do anything I can to help, son." Patting a seat next to him, he said, "Sit down and tell me all about it. If nothing else, I can at least listen." So, Goku did just that. He told Roshi the whole story. And Roshi, for his part, was a man of his word, and waited patiently for him to finish. When he was done, Roshi just said, "My, that certainly is quite the conundrum. Can you think of anything you said or did that might have upset her? Anything at all?" Goku said, "That's just it. I don't have a clue. Everything was fine until I mentioned training our kid. Then it's like it flipped a switch, and her whole aura changed. It was almost as if she saw me as a threat. and when I tried to talk to her about it, she just shut down. I've never experienced anything like this before, and I don't know what to do." Roshi thought for a moment and allowed a bit of silence to pass before he formed his next sentence, making sure to word things carefully and tactfully. "I think I may have some idea of what brought this on, Goku. It's not really your fault per se, but it's a pretty big deal." Goku stared back at Roshi intently. Roshi continued, "You see, you probably didn't notice this because you were completely wrapped up in your fight with Piccolo, as any warrior would be. As for us, though, we were on pins and needles the whole time, waiting to see if we would have to step up and face Piccolo ourselves. A battle we would almost certainly lose. Make no mistake, Goku, we hoped and believed in you with all our hearts. But Piccolo was ruthless, and to watch you get beaten within an inch of your life was not easy for any of us, but I think Chichi took it the hardest of all. The screams of heartache and anguish she yelled out each time you were hit, it was as if she was feeling the pain herself. Many times she could hardly bring herself to look, but she forced herself to turn her head back to the fight, hoping and praying that you would win, and that the evil would finally be gone, so that she could have the life with you that she always dreamed of. But then she saw you do something that to her might have seemed unthinkable. The very being that caused everyone so much heartache, after everything he did, you spared him. Now, I know the main reason you did it was to spare Kami, but she may not have understood the link that they share. More than that, it may be very difficult for her to believe that there is any good in that monster Piccolo. Hell, it's even hard for me to see it too. But I know that you are no stranger to doing the impossible, and that includes trying to win people over when nobody else would even dare. That's why I think that you can win her over too. But you have to show her that you understand how she feels. Tell me, Goku, what does she want for the child?" Goku replied with, "Well, she wants him to study all the time, and wants to protect him from any harm at all. I don't mind if he studies. He can be anything he wants to be. But what kind of father would I be if I didn't teach him how to defend himself, when that's the one thing I'm good at?" "Well, that and catching fish," Goku chuckled to himself to relieve some of his nervous energy. Roshi responded, "Ah, all brain and no brawn, eh? Well, that would certainly be a change of pace for someone in your family." "Also, you started calling the child a he. Is that something you are secretly hoping for?" Goku held his hands up in defense. No, it's not like that. I'll be happy with whatever it turns out to be. It's just, when Chichi got angry and I felt that second ki rise, even if it was very faint, it felt like a boy. It felt like my son." Roshi smiled and said, "Maybe there is something you can do for Chichi to show her there is more to martial arts than just fighting." Roshi continued, "She's already an adept fighter herself. But tell me, does she know how to sense energy?" Goku looked deep in thought. "I don't know, but if I had to guess, I would say no." "Interesting," said Roshi, waiting for Goku to put two and two together. Goku slowly replied, "Yeah, but why would that—" Then he stopped himself and his eyes lit up. "Wait a minute. If I teach her to sense energy, she'll be able to feel his growing life force just as deeply as I do. Thanks, Master Roshi. I knew you'd have an answer. I'll go home right now and—" "Wait!" Roshi almost screamed. "I'm happy that you're excited, Goku, but this is only solving half the problem. If you want her to listen to you, you need to show her that you support her decision to train his mind as well as his body." Goku sat back down next to Roshi deep in thought, and the words came out slowly. "Maybe if I go to Bulma's place. She's the smartest person I know. If anyone knows how to teach a kid to be smart, it would be her. I'd better go see her right now and—" "Goku!" shouted Roshi. "Maybe you should go home and check on your wife first. She's pregnant with your child, and you've been gone some time. I think you need to be with her right now. Just remember what we talked about, Goku, and you'll do fine. If anyone can convince Chichi, it's you, son. Plus, you're not alone. You've got all your friends to back you up this time, even if Chichi does scare the heck out of all of us. For the first time since he'd arrived at Kame House, Goku flashed his big famous son grin. "Thanks, Master, for everything," Goku said sincerely as he jumped on his cloud and flew away. Roshi yelled out, "Good luck, Goku. I'll be rooting for ya." With that, Goku went home and actually talked to and spent time with his wife. Since she was mostly confined to taking it easy during the last couple months of her pregnancy, it was actually Goku who caught and cooked the fish. There were a few failed attempts, of course, but eventually he got it down enough to sustain them both while Chichi rested. Chichi, for her part, picked up on sensing energy rather quickly. One, because Goku's energy was a rather large source to hone in on, and two, because the prospect of feeling her baby's life force in a whole new way thrilled her to her very core. To save time and wrap up this section quickly, once Gohan had been born, the happy couple had been delighted to show him off to their friends, as they all oohed and awed at the adorable little miracle. Bulma was more than happy to have the little tyke visit them any time he wanted. She told them not to worry about his future, and that he was set as far as she was concerned. If he turned out half as smart as Chichi seemed to think he'd be, then Bulma would be more than happy to hire him out as her personal lab assistant when he became old enough to take the job. If, on the other hand, he ended up half as strong as Goku hoped he'd be, then she'd hire him on as a personal bodyguard. Chichi winced at this a little, but Bulma assured her that even when Goku was a boy, he'd shrugged off bullets as a mere annoyance. But that even if Gohan wasn't the same as his father in that regard, the tech at Capsule Corp should be more than capable of protecting anyone who had it on their person. That seemed to sate her concerns for the moment. As it would turn out, Gohan, when left to his own devices, showed early signs of excelling at both brains and brawn. Naturally, both parents couldn't be prouder of their little boy. It seemed as though whatever he'd end up pursuing, his future was secure, and that in turn eased Chi-Chi's mind greatly, thus allowing the best of both worlds for the little prodigy. But wait, what of the fighters training on Kami's lookout? We'll just have to check in with them next time on part 3 of Dragon Ball Shift. Whew, that was a long one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care.